And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. Got to get there. Too much crazy stuff going on. So hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share. It's the only way that we're going to make this stuff stop. Now, look, the federal government shutdown still ongoing. And here's the saddest part. There's no end in sight. Even though Trump claims that we have trillions, in fact, $17 trillion, he claimed, coming in through these illegal tariffs. I mean, it's almost like he's not telling the truth. Shocker. Meanwhile, on my Mea Culpa podcast, I asked veteran journalist Brian Karem why the Democrats are losing the messaging war on the economy and what Trump could do with these emergency powers if the shutdown drags on. Play the clip. If I was on television, and I'm so thankful, that Mea Culpa has now surpassed 500 million downloads, meaning enough people are listening to us that this is making a difference. So the question that I want every single person to go and to repeat, the same way Republicans do over and over and over again, how could we be looking at a government shutdown if tariffs have brought in $17 trillion in new money in just 9 months? 17 trillion would amount to about just under 60% of our GDP, which is 27.2 trillion a year. More than it's about 2.5 times that of number 2, China. So why are we even looking at a government shutdown if in fact we are doing so well? Tariffs are the cure. Tariffs are it.
Yeah, the better question really, and that's a great question, apply it this, why are we looking at that shutdown with the tariffs coming in and the Republicans controlling both the House and the Senate? The reason why is because there are Republicans in the House and the Senate and Democrats who understand how truly fucked we are. And the fact is that you could get a clean continuing resolution, a clean CR is what they call it, for 6 months that would establish the spending patterns as they are now. By the way, the truth of the matter is we haven't really done a real budget for years. It's just these resolutions that they pass in the House and the Senate, and they agree on to keep things going. The thing is that the Democrats want there to be they want to make sure that you hold on to your health care and your Social Security. And the Republicans want to pass a clean resolution that doesn't address those issues. And so you're not going to get, a government shutdown is imminent, but the frightening part of this is what Politico and the Washington Post reported yesterday is that Donald Trump has sent out a memo to all the available people working in the federal government, all the agencies, that to prepare for layoffs, and once they get money back in, don't bring some of these people back. So they're going to use the government shutdown to fire more people that Doge couldn't get rid of. And then they're going to be facing 2 or 3 months down the line the fact that they can't operate, and they're going to have to bring some of these people back. This is a further destruction of the federal government. Like I said, Donald Trump will simply burn it all down and govern over the ashes, and the Republicans have no balls. They will not stand up to him, though. And look, I've talked to dozens of them. Michael, dozens of Republicans who say, I don't agree with this, but I got to go along with it because the president wants it. And my question is, did you put your nuts in a blind trust? When you took the oath to uphold when you got elected, did you just to say to hell with the United States? I'm in it for me and me only, because that's what it looks like. And the fact is that if we don't have the money coming in, the tariffs are a tax on the United States, on the citizens of the United States, which is why the economy is suffering, why the prices are so high, and the Republicans will not push back against Donald Trump, therefore bringing us to another government shutdown, the last one of which we had the last time this moron was in office.
Hey, let me ask you this then, because I always say you need to, with Americans, you need to speak with simplicity.
Yes.
And as it relates, this is where I have such anger towards the DNC, towards Ken Martin, very much the same as you and I had talked about with Jamie Harrison, another worthless, feckless fucknut. Here's the thing. Why not start putting shit out? Tariffs are taxes. 3 words, which is everything Trump does, right? Lock her up, build the wall, mass deportation now, just drill, baby, drill. I mean, everything Trump does is 3-word slogans.
Drill, baby, drill. Yeah.
Consumers pay tariffs. Tariffs are taxes. And how, Brian, you know how I can prove it to you very simply?
You don't have to.
Take a look, but you are the consumer. You are the American consumer that is paying this tariff. Let me ask you this. The last time you went into your big box store, your Walmart, or you bought from Amazon or Costco or Myers or whatever it might be, are you or are you not paying more right now today than you were 6 months ago?
Of course you are.
Well,
but here's
there's
the thing.
The answer.
Yeah, but you are the second person in a day who has mentioned this, and I will put it to you this way. No matter how low the Republicans go, the Democrats have a hard time crawling over that bar.
Yep.
Their communication is lacking and is just horrible. Donald Trump, I remember when the Biden administration passed the infrastructure bill, right? The $1 trillion, which was a bipartisan bill.
Bipartisan, yep.
And it was it showed what we can do as a country when we work together. It was probably the most important piece of legislation in the last 25 years. And it still is paying dividends to this day. We did not go into a recession after COVID because of that bill. We put people to work. We paid for it. It's still paying dividends, right? But people didn't see it that way because Donald Trump was out saying that, whatever he was saying. And I went to the Biden administration. I said, why aren't you all talking about this more? Well, we mentioned it once. I said, what you don't understand is whatever air, whatever oxygen in the room you don't take, Donald Trump will take, and he will hammer you over the head with innuendo and lies while the facts are just sitting on the bench, not doing anything. And there are people who want the Democrats to do a daily briefing from the Capitol to push back, to your point, to push back against Donald. They want the Democrats talking more, but they don't do it. And for the love of God, I don't know why. You are in a fight for, this isn't a game. This is our lives on the line due to a crazy son of a bitch in office. And I'm telling you, brother, from having covered him in the first administration and this administration, if you want to say that Joe Biden slid into senility, Donald Trump took the ice water plunge into it. This guy's nuts. He's not anywhere near as smart or as fast on his feet as he used to be. They ask him about Charlie Kirk and he starts talking about, he starts talking about the ballroom he wants to be buried in. He will not leave that White House until they have to wheel his ass out in a coffin into that fucking, ballroom that he once built, and they charge $1,000 a day for you to see him in lying in state. So
let me say this, because a lot of people are questioning his mental acuity, they're questioning his health, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, not secondhand, not third, firsthand.
Me too.
There is no deficit. All right, what he is right now is completely empowered to do whatever he wants because he is controlling all levers of government. He has the legislative branch locked up between the House and the Senate, right? Bowing to every whim that he wants for the most part. He's got the judiciary now under control. And he also has the Supreme Court. So he is basically running this country the same exact way that he ran the Trump organization. Yes. His word is dicta. And anybody that tries to question what he says, be it right or wrong, doesn't make a difference. You will feel the wrath of Trump and his administration.
You're right. But there is a one difference, I think, is that I believe that what you see now is, I remember you would talk to him and say, "Oh, Donald, you can't do this." You would confront him with,
and he would listen.
Would listen. Here's the thing. No one is telling Donald Trump no now. In fact, there was a time, this is maybe 6 weeks ago, in the Oval Office, when he was questioned by a reporter about losing a Supreme Court case 9-0. And he said, "No, we won that, right, Stephen?" And he turns to Stephen Miller. And Miller says, "Oh, yeah, absolutely." The fact of the matter is, Donald Trump hears no negative words. He doesn't hear anyone challenging him anymore. He is controlled by those underneath him so that he can play to his worst demons and they get what they want. There are people holding his leash now, not allowing him to hear the words that he needs in order to make a decision. And the fact is they're far more dangerous than Donald is. Stephen Miller is probably the most dangerous man on the planet, and also one of the most feckless individuals I've ever met in my life. He literally ran away from me on 2 occasions in the White House when I tried to ask him questions. I mean,
wow, too bad you should have videotaped that.
We do have. We played that somewhere. I mean,
I'll send it to me. I want to put it on my Substack.
Yeah, I got to dig that one. But and so that's the difference between then and now.
Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.